We are first introduced to Stas, a vampire living in the demon world. He is the boss of his territory in hell. He's an otaku obsessed with human culture, but most specifically Japanese culture. Soon after, his head enforcer Deku calls Stas to tell him that a young woman, Fuyumi, has wandered into the demon world, into Stas's territory. Instead of killing her, as Deku suggests, Stas eagerly has Fuyumi brought to his room. He instantly feels what he calls attraction to her. Not only the romantic liking of her, but his vampiristic instinct to suck her blood. While this is happening, a man is gathering a crowd advertising his business to sell large plant-like creatures. Although Deku quickly picks out the man and tells him that he needs to have permission to do business in Stas's territory, however, the plant seller's true intentions are to battle Stas for the control of his territory. Stas is alerted of this by Deku, and after much urging from Fuyumi, he goes down and easily defeats the plant seller. However, while this had happened, one of the murderous plants came up to Stas's room, where Fuyumi was, and ate and killed her. When Deku and Stas return to find her in this state, Stas no longer feels attraction to Fuyumi. He then vows to bring her back to life, even though he doesn't yet know how to go about this. Fuyumi then remembers how she arrived in the demon world, through a portal between the human world and the demon world called the Black Curtain. The appearance of this black curtain is very strange, because it is supposed to have closed once its owner has successfully traveled through it. Stas then decides he wishes to go to the human world along with Fuyumi. They then travel to see Mame and Sati in the Cafe Third Eye. When there, Stas asks the owners of the shop, Mame and Sati, what they would do about the human world. After Mame and Sati use their combined third eye to analyze the situation they are in, they tell Stas that though Fuyumi's existence is unstable, she should be fine. While there, Deku comes and introduces Mimic Yoshida to Stas, who wishes to join Stas's gang. Yoshida, as the name implies, is a mimic, who can transform his appearance into whoever he wants. When Stas and the others get into a predicament about how Stas will remain the territory boss if he travels with Fuyumi, they realize Yoshida is able to take Stas's place. With this, it seems that the preparations for traveling into the human world are complete. Fuyumi and Stas go to check out what Fuyumi says she traveled through, the Black Curtain. Though Stas is shocked by this, he quickly decides that he will go with Fuyumi to the human world. After passing through the curtain, they are transported into Fuyumi's room, in the human world. Soon after, Stas decides he wants to leave, and on the way out of her house, the two run into Fuyumi's father, Yanagi. Yanagi quickly questions where Fuyumi has been since she had gone missing, and why she returned with a boy of all things. To avoid further confusion, Stas sprays Yanagi with his saliva, which has his vampiric magic inside. By doing this, he's able to control the person without actually biting them. Because of this, Yanagi quickly dismisses Stas's appearance and welcomes them both home. Afterwards, Fuyumi and Stas arrive at Fuyumi's high school. After a little time there, Fuyumi begins to realize her situation as a ghost. When she speaks to her friends, their memories begin to clash, and soon she's noticed less and less. As the weight of the situation begins to affect her, Stas returns to her and points out that she is starting to disappear in this world. Her legs and arms begin to fade, and she is literally disappearing. In order to keep her safe, Stas allows Fuyumi to take some of his magic by having her drink a drop of his blood. He again vows to always keep her safe. Though the magic is initially too powerful, Fuyumi turns back to her normal ghost self. Soon afterwards, Stas decides it's time to return to the demon world, so that he regains enough energy later to travel to Akihabara. Stas then questions about the whereabouts of Fuyumi's mother, and we learn that she does not know. As they return to Fuyumi's room, they are met by Belle Hydra Belle, a treasure hunter and sorceress of spatial magic. She introduces herself and explains that she knows that Mimic Yoshida is replacing Stas in the demon world, since she is able to see in any part of space as long as a frame is created to look through. Belle tells the two that she's the owner of the Black Curtain, and that she's trying to figure out the mystery of how she left her curtain open, even after she put it away properly. Belle then describes that Fuyumi and Stas must pay a fine for using her curtain, and she decides a total of 60 million yen. However, the two obviously think that that's ridiculous, so Belle quickly punishes them by transporting Stas to a random street in the human world, while Belle hangs on to Fuyumi and threatens to kidnap her if Stas does not retrieve a certain item for her. Stas then travels down to the store Oniglo and meets the store owner. Because Bell only told him he would know the item when he gets there, Stas questions the owner and is quickly led to a special room. To Stas' surprise, the prized item is a pair of ogre undies, and he must battle the store owner in order to get them. In the meantime, Belle is explaining to Fuyumi that the curtain she put up is no longer hers, and it was stolen from her by someone very powerful. Because of this, she is not able to put the curtain away, and is instead looking for the person who did it. This is why she made Stas fight the store owner, to see just how powerful he is. Back in Uniqlo, Stas quickly and easily defeats the store owner, and shows Belle that he is very strong. However, she knows after an explanation by Fuyumi that he did not steal the curtain. However, she does know something that may help Fuyumi return to life. She mentions the Book of Human Resurrection, and says that it is in Wolf's territory, an old enemy or friend of Stas. The three then decide to go and retrieve it. Stas and crew decide they must travel to the western part of Hell in order to retrieve the Book of Human Resurrection. They must go there because Baru said Wolf, the boss of the Western Territory, is in possession of the book. Because they don't want it to look like the start of a territory battle between Stas and Wolf, they decide to call upon the Chicken Brothers, the fastest transportation in the demon world. Though they run fast, they are very slow at counting money. After they finish counting their pay, the Chicken Brothers take Stas, Fuyumi, and Mame, Baru can simply use transportation magic when she feels like coming, quickly to the Western Territory. During the ride, Stas orders Mame to use his third eye to navigate a path to Wolf with the least amount of run-ins with others. However, Mame quickly realizes at the speed they're going, they will run head-on into Wolf and his two companions. Wolf and company, who soon see the carriage approaching, also realize they are on a collision course. Despite this, Wolf calmly uses his brute strength to slice the carriage in half. After quick introductions from the two longtime friends, Stas learns that Wolf does not have the book. Instead, he asks Wolf to aid his search using his influence over the territory. But to do this, Stas will have to win a competition between him and Wolf. After hearing this, Fuyumi is worried about the outcome, seeming as if she was the decided prize if Stas loses. However, Stas coolly explains that the competition will be a bowling match, and with his magic that can affect things at distances, he will be able to control the ball to his liking. They then go to begin the match with Wolf, and realize that Stas misheard, and the competition is actually boxing. Because of Wolf's physical magic affecting his strength, Wolf is at a clear advantage. The match soon begins, and Stas is quickly showing signs of losing. After a few minutes of getting beaten up, something happens to Wolf that causes him to become fatigued. Earlier in the match, Stas had grabbed onto Wolf and used this chance to bite Wolf and leave his tooth pierced into his skin. And that's the end of the video. As always, if you liked what you saw, subscribe to the channel. I'll be uploading lots of videos just like this, so I'll see you in the next one.